You think your English is advanced, but let me ask you something honestly. If you spoke English for 5 minutes today, would a negative speaker say, "Wow, very advanced," or would they say, "Good English, but basic"? Because fluency is not the same as being advanced. Advanced English is about control. That is control of tense, control of structure, control of emphasis. Today I'll show you 12 grammar rules that most learners never fully master. If you master them, you will sound clear, confident, and advanced every time you speak. So let's begin. Now let's talk about rule number 1, that is stative verbs. Stative verbs describe states, not actions, and are not used in continuous forms. Most verbs shows action. For example, run, eat, write. But some verbs do not show actions. They show states. For example, have, know, believe, want, need, love. So you cannot say, "I am knowing the answer." You say, "I know the answer." You cannot say, "What are you meaning?" But you say, "What do you mean?" That's right. Advanced speakers feel this automatically. So now let's talk about rule number 2, that is present perfect versus past. Use present perfect when the past connects to now and the past simple when it is finished. This rule is confused even upper intermediate learners. Here is a simple idea. If something started in the past, use the present perfect. For example, I have lived here for 5 years. I started in past and I still live here now. But if something started and finished in the past, so use past simple. I lived in the France for 1 year. No connection to now. This rule alone can move your level higher. So now let's talk about rule number 3, that is articles. The. Use article for general ideas and the for specific ones. Note, usage of article changes meaning. Places like hospital or church. For example, this small word causes big problems. When we talk about things in journal, we don't use the. For example, bananas are yellow. That's journal fact. But when we talk about specific things, so we use the. The bananas in my kitchen are green. Now listen carefully. With places like church, hospital, prison, the means the purpose. So she is in hospital. She is sick. The hospital means the building. Okay? Advanced speakers know the difference instantly. So now let's talk about rule number 4, that is cleft sentences. Cleft sentences shift focus to important information. This rule helps you control focus, normal sentence. For example, Sandeep, if we want to talk about same thing in advanced sentence, it was Sandeep who helped me. You are saying this is the important part. Another example, I liked her pronunciation. But in advanced sentence, it was her pronunciation that I liked. This makes your English expressive and intentional. So now let's talk about rule number 5, that is a conditional. This is very important. Conditional express real, unreal, or impossible situations. Conditionals are about 2 parts, the condition and the result. If I had known, I would have gone. This talk about the impossible past. If she were taller, she could be a model. This talks about an unreal present. Advanced speakers don't mix these forms. They choose them carefully and confidently. Rule number 6, modal verbs in the past. Past modal expresses regret, criticism, or deduction. Modal verb show opinion and judgment. Example for giving advice, you should call. Regret about the past, you should have called. Strong possibility now, she must live alone. Strong possibility in the past, she must have taken the wrong bus. This grammar adds emotional depth to your English. Rule number 7, inversion. Inversion, reverse word order for emphasis. For example, simple form, I have never seen such chaos. More advanced, never have I seen such chaos. Notice the order. Another example, not only did he forget, but he also lied. This sounds formal, dramatic, and advanced. Rule number 8. Relative clauses. Dropping unnecessary relative pronouns makes English sound natural. Native speakers delete words when possible. For example, the woman who I met yesterday, the woman that I met yesterday, the woman I met yesterday. All are correct. When you can drop that, drop it. When you cannot, so don't. This makes your speech faster and more natural. Rule number 9, that is a ellipsis. Ellipsis avoids repetition by omitting obvious words. For example, he plays football better than I do, not better than I play football. I went to the party and she did too. We already know the verb, so we don't repeat it. This saves time and sounds natural. Rule number 10, that is a gerund and infinitive. Use gerunds for activities and infinitives for plans or intentions. Stop guessing. Ask yourself one question. Is this a plan or an activity? Plan. Infinitive, for example, they decided to leave. Activity, she enjoys swimming. I remember to lock the door. Plan, I remember meeting him. Memory, this rule help you choose correctly. Rule number 11, that is a fronting. Fronting move information to the beginning for emphasis. Fronting adds drama. For example, there was a cake on the table. Advanced form, on the table there was a huge cake. You delay the information, you build suspense. You will see this kind of sentences in our books or in films. Rule number 12, reported speech. Reported speech usually requires back shifting of tense. For example, I have seen her. Advanced form, he said he had seen her. I will call later. She said she would call. We are waiting. They said they were waiting. Always move the tense back. Now be honest. How many of these rules did you already know? Write a number in the comments. So subscribe to my channel for more informative videos on CELPIP. Your proficiency in English is nearer to an advanced level. See you in the next lesson. Happy learning.